Now let's come down to a definition of diamond. So diamond would be defined as a carbon-based compound with a minimum carbon percentage of 75%. It has an isometric 75%. It has an isometric cubic atomic structure. And low intermolecular space.
Low
intermolecular space. Okay. Now, diamonds are basically two types. Like I said, diamonds that you use in industry and diamonds that you use in jewelry. So, IQDs, types of diamonds. IQDs, meaning IQDs, meaning industrial quality diamonds. Industrial quality diamonds with carbon content between 75 less than 90%. Also called BORT, B-O-R-T. B-O-R-T. Also called BORT.
B-O-R-T, sir?
Yeah. GQDs. Gem quality diamonds. Carbon content of 90% of gem quality diamonds. Carbon content 90% or more. Right. See, all those things that you see in diamonds as flaws, they are actually foreign substances which have entered the diamond, and they are what makes a diamond a compound. Otherwise, diamond would be an element. So you just cannot have, in real terms, you cannot have a flawless diamond. What we call a flawless diamond is flawless under 10x. You understand what I is? Yeah. 10x meaning I am magnifying the image 10 times. That's a universally accepted standard for viewing and grading diamonds.
So are the export quality diamonds like 10x and viewed under the 10x?
All diamonds, yeah, all diamonds. When you will be looking at diamonds also, you will be looking at diamonds under 10x, the same magnification. Otherwise, somebody would be looking at 100x, somebody would be looking at 10x, and you would never have the same grade to the diamond. So all over the world, a diamond is only graded under 10x or 10 power magnification, magnifying the image 10 times.
What did you say, sir, that a diamond is flawless under
Under 10x. So what we call flawless is only flawless under 10x. Under 100x, probably you're going to see some points there, but they're not visible under 10x. So as long as they're not seen here, they are flawless. ठीक है? We already spoke about hardness. तो पहली property वही लिखते हैं, hardness. Defined as resistance to scratching. Diamond being the hardest known substance to man. There was this physicist.
Hardest substance to man.
There was this French physicist, the guy who does physics, study in physics, called Frederick Moh. And Frederick Moh, MOH, devised a scale on which he measured hardness of substances. It's called the Mohs scale of hardness. On that scale of hardness, diamond scores 10 out of 10. Everything else follows diamonds. So it scores a perfect 10.
This is the second property.
No, part of that only. It scores a perfect 10 on Mohs scale of hardness.
How do you spell it?
MOH apostrophe S. Mohs
Perfect 10.
on Mohs MOH apostrophe S. MOH apostrophe S. Mohs scale of hardness.
But how does he measure it on that?
Okay, it's a very easy test. When you just move two things against each other, the one which scratches is harder. Corundum or ruby has a hardness of 9, so it's harder than any other thing, but not harder than less than diamond. So when you scratch ruby and diamond together, what scratches what?
Diamond is scratched.
Diamond scratches the ruby. Right.
So normally when the prongs and all are open, the diamond
Right.
doesn't get scratched. That means it's
By itself, no. But a lot of times diamonds are put together in one packet, the smaller size. With the bigger size, you're careful, you put one piece in one packet. But with the smaller size, thousands of pieces are together. At that time, definitely, they are going to be damaged. But then you wouldn't have thousands of packets, individual packets. For this, it's part and parcel. You have to make do with that. Okay. This was the first property. Now tell me if hardness is the same as breaking. If there's something that falls to the floor and breaks, another thing that falls to the floor and just gets scratches, a third thing which falls and nothing happens to it. Am I talking about hardness? Yes, yes, yes. That's brittle or tough. This property is toughness. We're talking about diamond properties. We've talked about the first property, which was hardness. Okay, meaning it can scratch anything else. Now we talk about the second property, which is toughness. Okay. Toughness meaning resistance to breaking. Diamonds, if you throw a diamond down the top floor of the Empire State Building, is it going to stay intact? Is it going to damage itself? Is it going to break into pieces?
stay intact.
Okay, most of it is going to stay intact. At corners, yeah, somewhere where it's really thin near the girdle or near the the pointed which we call the culet of the diamond. The point, when you put the diamond ulta, you can see it like a mountain peak, right? So at those places where the depth is less, it can damage itself slightly. Culet, yeah, we'll do that. But most of the diamond is going to stay intact. So while the diamond is extremely or exceptionally tough, it's not infallible. Write this down if you want. While the diamond is exceptionally tough, let's talk about a third property. See, why am I giving you all this theory bullshit today is because if we need to have a base on which we will, when we look at diamonds, we need to know what we are going to look at. Yeah? Unless we know what we are going to look at, we're not going to be able to see what we want to in the diamond. Right? So, property 3. Is, okay, I put a paper boat on water. What happens? It floats. And I put a pebble on water. It sinks. Why?
Density.
Right. Specific gravity. Diamond has a specific gravity of 3.57 Sg. Diamond has an Sg of 3.57. Right, meaning it is 3.57 times heavier than water. How this is practical is that it helps you differentiate between a diamond and what we call an AD, a CZ. Because the CZ is heavier, it is higher in specific density or specific gravity than the diamond. You put both of the same size together and let them sink. The diamond sinks later. The CZ sinks first. पहले डूबेगा.
So we have to write it down?
Not that, just Sg of 3.57. Okay. Property number 4. Refractive index. Do you know of refraction? Refraction.
Yes, sir.
All of us do. And we did this in physics. When light strikes a transparent substance, part of it is thrown back to our eyes in a phenomenon called reflection. A part of it bends and changes medium, enters the substance, and then when it comes out in Vibgyor colors. a ray of light, when it changes medium, it bends. And this is refraction. Post-refraction, when it comes out, it splits up into its component with pure colors. That is refraction. Okay. So, when light changes medium, it bends. We catch that word. It bends. It does not bend to the same extent in different substances. Depending on a property called Ri, or refractive index, it bends differently in different substances. Light bends differently on entering different substances. That property can be measured on a machine called the refractometer, which helps you decide whether the stone is a diamond or not. Because if it has a reading of 2.41 on the refractometer, it is a diamond. If it does not have that reading, it is not a diamond. So refractive index, as measured on the refractometer, is 2.41. Ri, or refractive index, is actually the property in substances that influences the degree to which light bends on entering that substance. Yeah, Ri is actually the property that influences the degree to which light bends on entering that substance. The degree to which light bends on entering that substance. Na likhle hobe. Jeta hobe am dokar আমি বলে দেব. Okay. It influences the degree to which light bends on entering that substance.
So will the clarity of the diamond affect its refractment?
No, absolutely not. It has to do with the medium or the atomic structure. It's not got to do with flaws.
Means even an industrial diamond?
All have refractive index of 2.41 only.
So everybody doesn't have this meter, refractometer.
Right.
So how can
there
you
are huge.
find
There,
that this is AD and this is a diamond?
the easiest way now is via an instrument called a diamond tester. Tester. Right. And you just put the needle on the stone. It tells you if it's a diamond or not.
Yes. What is
It. Huh?
क्या बोला?
There's something called a diamond tester. You put the needle on the stone. It tells you if it's diamond or not. It measures the hardness and tells you like that.
एडी और डायमंड हमको देगा तो हम कैसे इसका पहचान?
हाँ, करेंगे. जब हम ये सीख लेंगे, लोग मुझसे कई बार कहते हैं कि पहले ये जानना चाहिए क्या कि मतलब एडी क्या है, डायमंड क्या है. मैं कहता हूँ तो लास्ट में जान सकते हो. जब आपको ये मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि ये डायमंड है, तो कहना बहुत आसान है कि ये डायमंड नहीं है. You know if it's not a diamond. Okay. That was property number 4. Let's do property number 5. Traditionally, I don't know if you've seen jewelers see diamonds or grade diamonds. They hold it by hand like that. And new generation jewelers don't do it anymore. They hold diamonds with tweezers. Why that difference? क्यों चिमटी से पकड़ते हैं, हाथ से क्यों नहीं पकड़ते हैं? पसीना होता है हाथ में, वो जाकर के डर्ट होता है साथ में, वो जाकर डायमंड में लग जाता है. जब डायमंड देखते हो बोले काला दाग है डायमंड में, तो it's actually a speck of dirt that's sticking on the diamond that went to the diamond with your perspiration. It's not a flaw in the diamond. So affinity to grease. Diamond has a strong affinity to any greasy object. Affinity to grease is the property. To grease.
Diamond is a strong object.
Strong affinity to all greasy substances.
Affinity.
हाँ, मतलब चिपक जाता है फट से. AFFINITY. Affinity is closeness or attraction. Has a great attraction towards grease. Right. Let's now talk about the most important of all properties, which we are doing last of all. That property is luster. Lustre. Luster. Generally, when you say describe the luster of gold, what do you say? The dash of gold.
सर लास्टर क्या होता है?
The glitter of gold. And when you talk about the sun, you say the sun is shining. Yeah. And when you talk about silver, you say the glimmer of silver. You don't say the glitter of silver, you say the glimmer of silver. Why are you not using subconsciously the term? Why are you not using glitter for silver? Because glimmer is less and glitter is higher, it's more. And you say the glistening of the ointment, that's even less, right? So all of these are actually technical grades for luster. We just use them in layman terms, but we are still following that sequence. There's one term in luster that we haven't heard about. It's called adamantine. Adamantine. Mantine. Yeah, Adamantine. Adamantine. Why haven't we heard about it? Yeah. Any. Adamantine. Why haven't we heard about it? Because we haven't off হয়ে গেছে মাইকটা. Okay. Because we haven't needed to measure something which has adamantine luster. There's only one thing in the world which has adamantine luster. That is diamond. And do you notice that there's a similar sound to adamantine and diamond? Actually, diamond is derived from a word called Adamus, Adamus, who was a Greek god of strength. Greek god of strength. Later, that word came to mean unconquerable. The term adamant in English, also derives from this term, adamus. Adamant का मतलब क्या होता है? Stubborn. वो भी इसी से है. Adamant, adamantine, diamond, everything coming from the same term. And adamantine is the highest grade in luster. So, no other thing known to man comes close to diamond. I'm not saying near diamond. Does not come close to diamond in terms of luster. By far, it is the most lustrous of all things known to us. ठीक है? Which is why diamond is the king of gemstones. And it is on this factor that both of my theories, the cut grade and the pricing technique that you will learn in the course, are derived both from this principle. Because traditionally the theory has been that luster and appearance together account for the value of diamond. Why is that diamond so valuable? Because it has so much luster and because it looks so good, because of luster and appearance. But the thing is that appearance is influenced by all four C's in equal measure. Appearance, the bigger the carat, the more the look. The better the clarity, the more the look. The better the color, the more preferred the color, the better the look, right? The better the cut, the better the look. So appearance, when it comes to appearance, if luster and appearance each count for 50% of diamond value, then that appearance 50% is taken up in equal 12.5 percentage points by all four C's. So in terms of appearance, all four C's 12.5 percentage points. But when it comes to the luster of the diamond, it is not affected by the clarity. It is not affected by which color it is. Not affected by how big or small it is. It is only affected by the cut of the diamond. So here, that 50% which devolves to luster comes down solely to the luster of the to the cut of the diamond. So 50 here and 12.5 there. 62.5 percentage points of diamond value is influenced by this one C called the cut of the diamond. There's this, I don't know if you've heard about the Gemological Institute of America, GIA, which is the oldest diamond institute in the world. And it says that all four C's, when we studied it at GIA, they taught us that all four C's equally and simultaneously affect the value of a diamond. Meaning that equally and simultaneously, not in isolation, but they together equally affect the value of a diamond. Which is why you have a VVS for clarity, you have a G color for color, you have a weight on the weighing scale, but you don't have a cut grade from GIA. You have a cut grade from Syngem. We don't work on that premise. We say that luster and appearance, not the 4 C's, but luster and appearance equally and simultaneously determine the value of diamond. So when it comes to that, then 62.5% of diamond value is influenced solely by this one factor, which is diamond cut. Yeah.
That means, sir, if I get a diamond graded by you and
Yes.
I take the same diamond to
Yes. Yes.
GIA,
Yes.
there'll be
There is no difference. They don't answer the question for cut. They don't give a consolidated grade for the cut of the diamond. They only answer the 3 C's. They give you the carat weight, they give you the color, they give you the clarity, but not, they talk about individual factors where they don't have a consolidated grade. And because they don't have the answer to the 4th C, and if they don't put the 4 C's together, they cannot have a value for a diamond. Syngem allows you to value a diamond down to the last rupee. Somebody walks out of a GIA education program, he is not able to value a diamond. I wasn't able to value a diamond when I came out of GIA. ठीक है? Most all of you are able to buy and sell diamonds on the day your program ends. The only people, okay. And we hold the copyright. We hold the copyright now to both of these techniques. The world's only average cut grading technique copyright for diamonds is with us. Also, the world's only diamond pricing technique copyright is with us. And you are permitted to use it for trade purposes, not for any other reason, for buying and selling goods in your personal capacity. So we did this. Properties khatam ho gayi? Right. Now let's talk about diamonds. Kahan se aate hain?
The mind.
Mind.
Okay. What are mines? What are mines?
So basically,
Mines are like how we have them under the earth. We try
Right,
to-
right.
We have mines like
For coal and
yeah, coal.
a lot of people think that diamond comes out of coal mines. It's not true. If you have coal, what is a mine? A mine is a deposit. Yeah, the actual things that are deposited there are not formed there. They come down from around 100 kilometers from the surface, and they are pushed towards by temperature and pressure. You know of these temperature and pressure fluctuations? They bring you the Himalayas, they bring you earthquakes, they bring you tsunamis. Yeah, and similar fluctuations bring material from inside the earth towards the surface. From a particular zone where carbon content was less, you have coal, and from that region where you have higher carbon content, you have diamond. Diamond and graphite together always, because the same carbon content, just the molecular structure for some is different, for the others it's different. But graphite, if you have graphite in a region, short guarantee that you are going to have diamonds also there. Okay, and if you have coal, short guarantee that you won't find diamonds there. Okay. So diamonds come out of mines, but they grow at around 100 kilometers, like I say, from the surface. And the last time that the diamonds reached the surface was 500 million years ago. Aadhi Arab Saal pehle. And the first time that diamonds are supposed to have reached the surface was 2.5 billion years ago, predating man. Right? And you can write down formation of how diamonds form. How diamonds form. At around 100 kilometers from the surface, liquefied carbon comes into contact with other elements. Sometimes to form diamond.
Liquefied carbon?
Comes into contact with other elements. So things, when they are liquid, they always mesh together. They have more chances of mixing together. So sometimes they turn to be diamonds, other times other things that we find on Earth, yeah, via mines. sometimes diamonds.
At around 100 kilometers,
From the surface.
Carbon comes into contact or meshes with or mixes with other elements to form compounds, some of them being diamonds. Temperature and pressure fluctuations push diamonds towards the surface. In spurts. It doesn't happen in a continuous manner. Sometimes there's no activity, they're lying there. Again, there's some fluctuation, they're pushed in a big shove, probably 20, 30 kilometers or 10 kilometers at one go, and then they are lying there. Another thousands of years maybe, till another great push is going to push them again towards the surface. So the journey takes thousands and thousands of years, if not more, towards the surface. And the formation itself also takes a huge amount of time towards the surface. Okay, tell me one thing. When diamonds come near the surface, are they loose or are they confined? Confined. Because when diamond was solidifying, there was not air around the diamond. There were other things which were also solidifying around the diamond. So now diamonds are contained inside larger rocks. And these rocks are named after, the diamond containing rocks are named after the person who founded a big mine in Africa called Kimberley. So these rocks are called kimberlite after him. Diamond containing rocks are called kimberlite. So a lot of people have this misconception. Don't walk out of this class thinking that there is only a particular type of diamond, rock called kimberlite. No. Any rock can contain diamond. And any rock that contains diamond is called a kimberlite. Kimberlite is not a particular type of rock. Any diamond that contains a rock, any rock that contains a diamond is kimberlite. Okay, this is named after Kimberley, who founded the Kimberley mines in South Africa. The Kimberley mines are the third largest mine in the world. Kimberley, Kimberley. Kimber. Yeah. Now also what Kimberley has done is a part of it goes to De Beers, part of the produce, but the rest of it is being marketed independently by Kimberley. And 2 years back they had sent representatives all over the world, some of whom came to Calcutta also, to promote online purchases of Kimberley diamonds.
That means
You could buy directly from the mine.
So those are uncut diamonds or cut and polished diamonds?
Both ways.
Okay.
Both ways. Also polished diamonds now.
Because I had recently seen a documentary on diamond mining and all in Discovery.
Right. Very often, yeah, you can see on the cutting and polishing process. And
Yes,
on
they had shown the mining procedure and the polishing procedure and everything
Right.
in the documentary.
Okay. Now, diamonds come out of mines. They also come out of water bodies. There's this place called Kalimantan in Indonesia, from where you have huge quantities of diamonds coming out. How does that happen? How does that happen?
The mine is under the seabed.
Kalimantan. In Indian mythology, कहते हैं कि वहाँ पर अमृत मंथन हुआ था, and the devtas and the rakshasas churned Meru Parvat so that they could get Amrit. And before Amrit came out, gemstones came out. These gems were diamonds. And deep sea divers go down with buckets in hand and put the grovel on the seabeds, and they carry them to the shore and they sort out for diamonds. It happens today. Right? So diamonds that come out of water bodies, how did the diamonds get there? Because there are deposits below the seabed. There are mines there. Yeah? And you cannot dig up the seabed, but very often there's churning happening. And because it's churning, the top layer of the soil gets changed all the time. And diamonds are thrown up to the surface. Okay. So secondary source diamonds are diamonds that come out of water bodies, and primary source diamonds are diamonds that come out of mines. There's this one very interesting thing here, that diamonds that come out of water bodies are better quality.
But why? They're cleaner.
Because the water cleans them? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. हाँ, वो तो अंदर में flaw है. The water can only clean the surface. The flaw is always inside the diamond. So then what's happening? Just that the ocean currents are so strong. You saw the tsunami, how it destroyed people, right? And it's known now that the Earth was one continent once, called Gondwana land. It broke up into 7 because of the power of oceanic drift, what we call continental drift, because of the power of oceanic currents. And these currents break off the inferior quality diamonds, because the inferior quality diamonds have less carbon. It's carbon that gives the diamond its toughness. Industrial quality diamonds or low gem quality, better inferior gem quality diamonds don't have so much carbon, and because they have less carbon, they're easier to break. Only things which are really, really good, having really, really high carbon content, are really, really tough enough to withstand oceanic currents. So it's a survival of the best. For that reason, from Siberia, approximately 8% of the world's diamonds come from Siberia, and Siberia is frozen ice. All the time, you have minus 30 degrees temperature there throughout the year, but still miners are working there, excavating the ice and digging the diamonds out, because the best quality diamonds also come from Siberia. Diamonds from water bodies.
People even say now for Antwerp that Antwerp diamonds are.
Okay, we'll talk about that. That's slightly different. We'll talk about that. Here what happened was that in Siberia, today it is ice, thousands of years back it was flowing water. And that water at that point of time killed all the inferior quality diamonds. It allowed only the best to survive. So we are just taking out, like I said, the diamonds last came to Earth 500 million years ago. So anytime somebody says, I found a new diamond, he just made a new discovery. The diamond has been there, lying to be picked up for at least 500 million years, if not more. Okay, what you spoke of about Belgian cut diamonds, or diamonds that come from Antwerp, Belgium produces no diamonds of its own. It has got no mines. It is a cutting and polishing center. So what it does is that why Belgian diamonds are famous is because of the quality of their cut. They work with sophisticated, the luster would be better because the cutting quality is better.
He's talking about what is the synthetic diamond?
Synthetic diamond, actually a synthetic diamond is a real diamond made in laboratories. But when you use it in Calcutta city, when you call it a synthetic, you mean an imitation.
More or less
But
like
technically speaking, a synthetic is not an imitation. An imitation is called a simulant, simulant. It's not called synthetic. Okay, so we talked about primary, secondary sources and how diamonds come out. Let's talk about the process of extraction of diamonds from the mines. Process of extracting diamonds, or how diamonds come out of mines. There are these rocks here below the surface, some of which are kimberlite. It's not reached the surface, it's at some depth. So what these people, the miners, will do is first dig a tunnel for 50, blast a site, see if they have reached kimberlite. How will somebody know that they have reached kimberlite? Because when they blast the rocks here, the rock gets broken, diamonds come out, isn't it? No diamonds came out here after the first blast, so they know they have not reached kimberlite. Here again, when the second blast ended, no kimberlite. With the third blast, this kimberlite here blew up and the diamonds came out. So now they have diamonds. Now they know they have reached kimberlite. The level at which diamond is first found is called blue ground. And once they reach the blue ground, they need to cover the whole diamond field. What would you call a diamond field?
the area where the diamond.
Absolutely.
Kimberley
Just
toxin
just like you have oil fields, yeah, spread over huge distances, you also have diamond fields. And you cannot go and digging up the whole of the surface because there's habitation on top. There are people staying there. So what do? You want to gain access to the whole field. Yeah, underground. You create the metro. You create a network of subways. These subways are called trenches, which give you access to the whole field. Right? And then via cranes, they are brought to the surface. Now, are only diamonds brought to the surface, or everything along with diamonds is brought to the surface?
If the whole rock is brought, then it is.
Absolutely. Everything that blew up there is brought to the surface. It's too hot. It's too hot there. And sometimes there's water logging and everything. It's really not possible. And the mines are really congested. The trenches are 10 feet, 15 feet wide. It's not possible for people to segregate there. So everything is brought to the surface first. And then we start the separating procedure. How do they do that? How do they separate? Okay. How do they separate diamonds from the rest of the stuff that comes out of the mine?
The first, maybe by washing it with water, then by acid.
Okay. Firstly, they will use some diamonds properties because there's a huge lot of rubble that's come out, probably 11 tucks or 10 tucks in a day. So, and they need to take buckets of diamonds out of that truckloads. So, what they are going to do is, the first property that comes to mind is that diamonds are heavier than water. The sand and the gravel, that everything that's lighter than water, it's going to float and diamonds are going to sink. So they have these huge tubs of water, big washing pans, and they put everything in that tub, and when they tilt those tubs, the lighter stuff floats away. So that's the first procedure. Huh?
Froth flotation, that is called. Froth flotation.
Okay, that may be a term to describe it, right? What I would call this is they use washing pans. So I would call the first process use of washing pans. Okay? So that's immediately going to click here. They use washing pans.
Kind of decantation they are doing, right?
Absolutely. Yes. That's step one. Use of washing pans. We're talking about the process of segregating diamonds from the rest of the rubble. What is step two? Diamonds have an affinity to grease. Yeah. So have these huge tables and they put oil on it. And then very fine layers, they'll put the rubble on top of that. When you tilt the table, things that diamond will stick. Some other things also may have an affinity, they will stick. But other things that don't have an affinity for grease are going to fall down.
So it must be a really very tough glue, right?
Yes.
For the thing to stay.
Diamond does not, in fact, it can stick to olive oil. Yeah. Perspiration is not sticky at all. It sticks to perspiration. So it's.
ऑयल में डायमंड का क्या होता है?
कुछ नहीं होता डायमंड को. डायमंड को कुछ नहीं, कोई हार्म नहीं पहुंचता.
When we are throwing away the rest, there's a major possibility कि उसमें कभी.
Absolutely. What happens to the diamonds that are contained inside smaller pebbles, which did not come independent at the time of blowing the rock, but they are contained inside smaller. If they would have been independent, they would have stuck to this thing. But because they are not independent, they are still inside that small pebble and they are not sticking to the table. So for this, you go into step 3.
So step 2 was?
Step 2 was use of grease tables. Then from that, we'll go to step 4. But for those diamonds that might not have been sticking there and they contain inside rocks, they first go into step 3. Okay. Under step 3, they use these crushing machines called grizzlers. Use of crushing machines called grizzlers. G-R-I-Z-Z-L-E-R-S. I-Z-Z-L-E-R-S. You know all the small size diamonds that you use in jewelry, the melee and the star, 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents. All of them come out of this process. Grizzlers. G-R-I-Z-Z-L-E-R-S. L-E-R-S. Small diamonds contained inside fragments of rock are crushed to bring them into an independent state. There is, all the time there is something that you are doing to the diamond. Probably in a huge kimberlite, when we blew up the kimberlite, there was a huge diamond which got blown up. But then if we wouldn't blow it up, we would have no diamond. Here again, when we crush them under crushing machines, they're still getting smaller, right? But then again, there's no other way out. You could do a laser, but you wouldn't do a laser on every stone. So this is third process was use of crushing machines. And the last stage is human sorting. Now ultimately what they have in front of them, they're going to just manually sort. Right. Okay, let's talk about countries. Where do diamonds come from? Okay, South Africa. 50% of the world's diamonds come from the African continent. Africa is the world's largest diamond producing continent. Origin, you can give the heading origin here. When were diamonds first found in Africa? In the early 18th century. Precise, not in the late 18th century, in the year 1780, as I remember it. There was this shepherd grazing his sheep, and he saw a shining pebble. He took it to his local sorcerer, who said, who are really intelligent people, and he took it to his local geologist. There was this European geologist on a tour or on a vacation there, doing some studies, whatever, and he knew it was a diamond. He sent it to London for testing. They confirmed it was a diamond, and then started diamond mining in Africa. Africa is famous for primary source diamonds as well as secondary source diamonds. There are countries, a lot of countries in Africa, third world countries, yeah, and the economy is wholly based on diamonds. Countries like Sierra Leone, countries like Botswana, where people are always fighting over control of the land there. The land has nothing except for diamonds. Botswana. Sierra Leone is always in the news for coups happening, one group fighting, and countries, Sierra Leone, SIE, RRA, LEONE, Sierra Leone. Botswana, that is BOTS, WANA. Zaire, that is ZAIRE, and South Africa. These are the four leading producers in Africa. The largest diamond producing country is Australia. Australia is both country and continent. In terms of continent, it comes second, but in terms of country, it is first. It's the largest producer for both IQDs and GQDs. Most of the rough that comes out of rough diamond that comes out of Australia is small size, inferior quality. Most diamonds that come out of Australia, even among the GQDs, are going to be small size and inferior quality. Let's say no reason can be assigned like that, but no huge formations really came out ever. The largest diamond there has been something like 5 carat, 7 carat, that size, and mostly very bad clarity, and no secondary source diamonds. All of the diamonds that come out are of primary sources only.
So what is the primary source and the secondary?
Primary is mine and secondary is water. Okay. However, Russia, again we said, produces around 8% of the world's diamonds. And if you look at the world map, every country produces something. India produces 0.0185% of the world's diamonds. India produces 0.0. Why this percentage is so important is because, okay, let's take down that percentage first. 0.0185% of the world's diamonds. Why is this percentage so important? Why do we even need to talk about India? Somebody that produces 2% of the world's diamond has no business to be talked about.
We must be getting good quality diamonds in India, like bigger diamonds.
None, no special reason like that.
What about the Koinur diamonds?
Okay, absolutely. At one point of time, all the diamonds that came out from anywhere in the world came out of India. Right up to the 16th century, 100% of the world's diamonds came from India.
Now we're exhausted of our minds.
They're exhausted of our mines. And whatever new mines are being, or new finds are being made, are not being explored. They're not being explored because of political reasons. Because one political party favors one group for exploration and the other favors. And they give a license, the other party comes to power and cancels the license. So this has happened 3 times in Madhya Pradesh.
So there's a possibility that they're still lost.
There is. They say that there is a huge amount of diamonds just waiting to be taken out, but they don't know who's going to take the spoils. And anyways, when we talk about diamonds, the first diamond that comes to mind is the Kohinoor. Yeah, it's the most famous of all diamonds. Is it the largest? Not by far. Scores of diamonds which are larger than the Kohinoor. And is it the best in quality?
No.
Not by far. Then what is so special about the Kohinoor? It's just its legend. It said, see, anything, how does an antique sell? Yeah. So what happened is, it said that, huh?
It is what history behind it.
Yes.
It is attached with history.
Yes. It said that Karna was given this Surya Mani by the sun god, and Krishna took it from him in the guise of a Brahmin. Yeah. It came down age to age. It reached the hands of Babur, who, when he saw the Surya Mani, called it Kohinoor. That is the light or the luster of the world. And in his biography, Abul Fazl said that the value of the Kohinoor is immeasurable in money. It could feed the whole world's population for a week, which also stands true today because the legend only grew after Babur. Aurangzeb's grandson was no longer the emperor of India, he was the Sultan of Delhi. And Nadir Shah of Iran attacked India because he wanted the Kohinoor and the Takht-e-Taus, which was the peacock throne, gem-studded peacock throne of Shah Jahan. So they dismantled the peacock throne and everything, but nothing could happen to the Kohinoor. And what to do with the Kohinoor? So when the Sultan had lost and hid it inside his turban, so because Nadir Shah's spies were everywhere and thought they're going to search and they're not going to. Nadir Shah came to know. So he went to this guy and said, me and you both are originally from the same family and we are long distance cousins and friends, and I have nothing against you, let's exchange turbans, be friends. At that time, it was very customary for people to exchange turbans to be friends. Just like and the diamond went to Iran with him. Ranjit Singh, the Lion of the Punjab, fought Iran to get back the Kohinoor to India. He donated it to a temple, and his son wanted to have nothing to do with it. He took it back. He said, my father was a Danveer Karna. I'm not. I'm going to take it back. So he took it back. And then the Britishers had heard so much about it. They said this Queen Victoria's coronation day is approaching, and we want to present it to her. So they said, how do we do it? It was in the hands of Ranjit Singh's grandson. And they'd already killed everybody else in the family, and they exiled him to England. And they thought they'll steal it, because they knew that this guy is going to carry the Kohinoor, if nothing else, with him on the ship. And they stole it from him on the ship. And then when they looked at the Kohinoor, they said, what was all this for? They looked at the stone, it had no special quality. So they said, maybe there's something inside of it. Some magical something. So they broke it into two. Which was what was already a small stone got broken into two parts. And they made it on the crown for the Queen of England. The Queen of England, Queen Victoria, said it's brought bad luck to anybody who wore it. Karna was the original owner and he died. Everybody else who owned it, misfortune. So I'm not going to wear it. So then what they did was they made it for the queen consort. The king's wife. The queen wouldn't wear it, so her son, when he married, his wife would be wearing it. That is one part of the Kohinoor. The other is in the Prince of Wales Museum, lying there for people to see. So that's the story of the Kohinoor, which makes it, even though it's now not one stone or two stones, so it's still the most famous and possibly the most expensive of all diamonds known to man. The largest diamond found, however, is the Cullinan. Approximately 600 grams in size or 3,000 carats. And the story again with the Cullinan was named after the guy who found it, but it's approximately 3,000 carats in size. Cullinan, Cullinan, Cullinan. It was the largest rough found, but didn't stay the largest polished diamond.
3,000 carats?
Yes. But then, they broke it into 32 pieces. They said, but it's huge stone, and if you really have to unravel its mystery and beauty and everything, it need not be cut into one stone, it should be cut into loads of stones. When they fashioned the diamond, they called them, in the style of the kings, Cullinan 1, Cullinan 2, Cullinan 3, right up to 32. And Cullinan 1, when they cut it, was the largest diamond. The Cullinan 2 was the second largest. Not anymore. Then there was another diamond that came out, and it was larger than the Cullinan 1. Yeah, it was a pear-shaped, a drop-shaped diamond, brown in color, and it has no name, so it's called the unnamed brown. It's with a private collector, and it's now the largest known diamond in the world, around 1,400 carats in size. But what happened was that the Cullinan 1 now was number 2, the Cullinan 2 was now number 3, and 32, that number, is now 100. So there are 100 pieces of Cullinan going around in the world. Collectors broke it and sold it off. In the next class, we talk about the cutting and polishing process of diamonds, about how rough diamonds that come out of primary and secondary sources are converted into gemstones that we use in jewelry. Right?